know that in the afternoon of October 18, 1867, formal exercises took place in Sitka to transfer the sovereignty of Russian America to the United States. Historians describe the scene as impressive, but imply that it was more or less a cut-and-dried affair. But details of exactly what happened, as seen through the eyes of General Lovell H. Rousseau, who represented the United States at the transfer, showed it to be a traumatic experience for the Russians. The ceremony took place on Castle Hill in front of Baranoff's castle. United States soldiers stood in formation to the right of the flagpole, and the Russian company formed ranks to the left. Representing the Tsar was Captain Alexei Pesturov of the Imperial Russian Navy, and watching the ceremony were residents of Sitka, Russians, Creoles, and Indians. As General Rousseau wrote in his official report, at precisely 3:30, the troops were brought to present arms. A signal was given to the United States Ossipee to start firing the salute, and the ceremony was begun by slowly lowering the Russian flag. Suddenly, the exercises were interrupted. The Russian flag had caught in the ropes attached to the flagpole. The soldier who was lowering the flag continued to pull at it and tore off the border by which it was attached, leaving the flag entwined tightly around the ropes. The flagpole was perhaps 90 feet in height. Several Russian soldiers attempted to ascend to the flag, but could not make their way more than halfway up the pole. Finally, a boatswain's chair was made with a rope, and a Russian soldier was hoisted upward. He detached the flag from the ropes, but not hearing the commands from Captain Pesturov to bring it down, he tossed it down, and in its descent, the imperial flag fluttered open and fell on the bayonets of the Russian soldiers. We can just imagine the horror-stricken crowd as it watched mutely while the soldiers retrieved their lacerated national emblem. General Rousseau's report continues. The United States flag was then properly attached and began its ascent, hoisted by my private secretary, who was General Rousseau's son, and again the salutes were fired. Captain Pesturov stepped up to me and said, "General Rousseau, by authority from His Majesty, the Emperor of Russia, I transfer to the United States the territory of Alaska." In a few words, I acknowledged the acceptance of the transfer, and the ceremony was at an end. The ill-fated lowering of the double eagle emblem was heartrending to the Russians present. Princess Matsukov, wife of the governor, fainted and was carried from the scene. Many Russians and Creoles wept openly. It was a sorrowful finale to the Russian occupation of North America. This story of a day in history filled with drama and pathos is part of the heritage of Alaska.